Welcome to the Death Battle Cast, where Liam makes very creepy faces. For those of you who are not,
I just wanted to give a little hello, everybody.
Okay,
that smile.
Why?
Why not? Why not? Why do you ask me such things?
Acting more normally is, of course, we got Sam and Josh.
Hi, normal.
Liam,
normal
you
people.
always want like the energy in the room to be like a little off, right?
Yeah,
like you don't want it to like
It's a wrench right away.
Yeah, you're never looking for like
strategic
cohesive vibes. You're like, let's get it a little fucky in here.
The best performances, and these are performances. The best performances are the ones that you get when you jump into something a little off kilter, because that allows you the freedom to kind of express yourself in the white space between what your lines are, which is, the stuff that we need to get to in the podcast. So yeah, I like to throw a little wrench into the equation. I like to get some vibes up in here. I'm the sriracha on the whatever you put sriracha on in the podcast.
I mean, legitimately, I think that's actually very good advice. If you're ever jumping in front of people, do something just a little out of your comfort zone, and it'll help you out.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, we could go into a lot of that, but like just even using weird voices, like all that are like tricks to like get yourself out of your original thought process and position to like be a little weird. So I get you.
Yeah.
And I'm not disagreeing with it. I just want to point out you're always
just pointing
around with the vibe.
Thank you for pointing it out. I think it's
it's a great conversation piece to start off this week's episode about cartoon characters. We've got some fun stuff to cover today. So first of all, thank you to everybody who's watching this live on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Time. I see a bunch of members joining in the chat, which is awesome, as well as some people reaching their 3-month status and getting those bronze badges, which is phenomenal. Those badges look so fucking cool. I think I've mentioned this before, but Luis, our lead animator on so many episodes of Death Battle, made all these badges, and I can't wait for those of you who stick around to get what is it called? The final one? I don't know. There's like tiers, and there's like a highest tier, and it's like really dope looking.
Yeah, I think it's at a year, right?
It's my
pretty
face,
deep.
right? It's just going.
It's like a year. Oh, that's right. It takes like 2 years to get to it.
I love it.
It'll be a minute, but they look good.
I can't
wait.
They
look real good.
In 2024. If any of you are willing to stick around and support us for that long, the badge is pretty cool. So I hope to see that badge showing up in a year and a half from now, or whatever it would be. But no, it is great to see you guys in chat as always, and we're all looking at chat as well, so feel free to chime in as we are going to be talking about a death battle that is sort of high requested. I think everybody just assumes we're going to do this one as an actual episode at some point.
Yeah, I never see it requested that often, but it's because it's it's like the Goku. It's like a Goku versus Superman level.
I've noticed. I think it was the Death Battle Wiki that marks it as like it's a confirmed episode for the future. Which is like, when did we just say that?
I don't remember. I don't remember it being confirmed. I saw that actually recently, and I was like, no, it wasn't.
We might have said something offhand on an episode.
I want to do it
or it's somebody's bold strategy to make sure we do it.
To gaslight us into doing an episode.
They know we check out the cast sometimes, or not the cast, the wiki sometimes. So they're like, if we just say this is confirmed, then they'll be like, well, I guess we said it, and they have to do
it. I love it. Go for it, guys.
That's actually kind of clever.
I mean, yeah, that kind of works.
Are you okay, Liam? You doing all right over there?
Yeah, I'm fine. I already had COVID, so
things were going too normally.
I had it like 3 weeks ago, and it was like, it was not that bad, but it was bad.
It's not fun. No.
And I was gonna my mom was gonna come visit me that week, and we had to cancel the trip. It was like right after Mother's Day.
That's a bummer.
It was such a bummer. And I was gonna go see Macbeth on Broadway, but then I saw it this Saturday, and it's with Daniel Craig and Ruth Negga. It's very good.
Oh,
if you're in New York, go watch that. It wasn't amazing. It was good. It was good. I saw the previous Sam Gold directed Shakespeare piece starring Daniel Craig at the New York Theater Workshop. It was Othello. He was really good in that one. In Macbeth, it was good. It took a little while to get into it. Ruth Negga was incredible. I think that her mastery of the verse was like it was immediate, like, oh my god, everything was understandable, it was perfect. But some of the directing choices I thought were a little idiosyncratic. I didn't quite get them.
Like Liam's like theater review quarter.
Yeah. It was okay. And I saw Men right after. I went to the AMC and saw Men, and that was similarly. There were some really high points, and then some points I was like, I wish there was more to this. There's a lot of metaphor. It was really obvious. She eats an apple from a tree. I'm like, I wonder what that fucking symbolizes.
Stop writing the Bible. Man.
I know. It's like, come on, it's like metaphor. Yeah, I get it. And none of the metaphors were that deep. It was sort of. There's a great scene at the end though that made me cackle.
I think there is a class I took in college about like movies and shit, and one of the things that like at the time I was like, wow, like the amount of biblical allegories in like every movie ever is buck wild, and then. Now it's to the point though, like it was like the professor was like, "Look, you can see it here, here, and here, and now you see it everywhere." And I'm just like, God, you guys are so doing the same shit every time. Like, stop with the Bible. Like,
I can connect this topic to the fight today. I can actually connect it. So you know how Bugs Bunny calls Elmer Fudd a regular Nimrod, and like at least for me and a lot of people I know, we always thought Nimrod just meant idiot. But Nimrod is a biblical character. He is a hunter. And so when the cartoon came out, the adults in the audience who were much more biblically literate back in the 40s, in generally terms, would have gotten that Bugs was being sarcastic. He was calling him a regular Nimrod. He's calling him a great hunter, quote unquote. He's making fun of him. But the kids at the time didn't get it and would have just assumed that it meant idiot. So Nimrod now is used a lot of times to mean idiot when it really means hunter. There you go.
That's also why one of the X-Men Sentinels is called Nimrod.
There you go.
Yeah. Even
why
dumb,
the other one was called
dumb
Jesus.
Comic book shit gets into that. All right. I do want to. Speaking of comic book shit, this has nothing to do with comic book shit. I did. Well, actually, it kind of does because of the.
You do have came out.
Yeah, we're talking about Sentinels.
So, Omni-Man versus Homelander just came out recently. If you have not seen it, please check it out. It's very quickly becoming one of our.
You've probably seen it.
Viewed episodes lately.
People liked it.
People apparently liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It's doing very well, which is awesome. I'm so proud of the team for it. Everybody did such a kick-ass job putting it together. Even you, Liam, writer. I'm
even
including
me?
you in that.
Even me?
Even you.
Fuck, I wrote it.
Man, that opening scene of the fight is so. I've seen a lot of people like the main critique is that the fight is too short, and I think they're just like kind of ignoring the first part.
Yeah,
and not like I consider that part of the fight.
Absolutely, like, it's just an unconventional fight. Like there is still a beginning, middle, and end of the fight. It's just the actual like combat is truncated, but at the same time, like we were aware of that, and it was something that I made a choice, like to and Ben, you agreed with me, I think. Was to prioritize these character moments instead of just straight up fighting because it's not a fight. Like, no, I don't
honestly,
think a lot of people are going to buy.
Best chance.
Yeah,
Homelander's
exactly.
best chance of winning is what he did at the beginning.
Yes,
and I think Homelander, a small part of him, would realize that, like, I need to be smart. I need to try to break him before he even gets a punch in.
Yeah,
and that's why I think it's so important how Omni-Man reacts to that.
Yeah,
like that's. I don't know. I really like that opening, and
not well.
I feel like maybe I was a little bummed when people would kind of dismiss it as like, oh, it's not part of the fight. It's just its opening setup.
It's just the setup.
It's a lot more than that. I think there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah.
No shade or anything, but I just kind of hurt a little bit.
I do think it's funny when some people though think it's like, how would we have started the fight like super fast? Just like he walks up, he's like, "Fuck you," and they just start fighting. Like it's like you like
yeah.
That's to have it be something that's like an enjoyable view, you need to have like an intro for the characters and like you need it. You can't just be like straight into a fight. Like
it's not even that it's a stomp, it's that it's universally recognized as a stomp. That you can't it can't just start with like a normal fight where it's like they show up and they start fighting. I just don't buy it, you know, like and people won't buy it. We've had worse stomps in the show's history, like mathematically worse stomps. But people didn't think of them as stomps. We didn't even really think of them as stomps. At a certain point, you get so high up in numbers that it just doesn't really matter. So this one needed to be a little different, I felt. And I think people responded well to that. One of the big responses I saw in the YouTube comments was something that I said when I was pitching the fight, was that like people will be like, yeah, I know Omni-Man stomps, but he's stomping Homelander. And that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Cathartic is a word I saw a lot,
exactly.
which is a lot of fun to see that. Anyway, we really enjoy how the episode turned out. I'm glad to see you guys enjoying it as well. Thanks to Omni-Man Homelander and you guys, and how amazing this season has been so far. Because holy shit, the team has been pulling out all the stops. God, there's some of the episodes that are coming up are just incredible too. I can't wait. We have successfully hit 5 million subscribers.
Yes,
jeez, man, it's so crazy.
Yes, I don't know why I was crazy. It took me like 3 seconds to kind of react to that. I was like stroking my stubble.
Here's the thing.
My neck beard.
I'm actually going to start. I was going to save this for later because there are a couple of things that we want to talk about later on in the show, but I'm just going to do this now because I'm so excited about this. So we kind of expected we would hit 5 million subscribers this year, right? Like we were looking at the numbers and the charts or whatever that YouTube provides, and you're like, oh, we're definitely getting close to it. So we'll probably get to 5 million like a month from now, 2 months from now, maybe 3 months from now. No. In like a week after we saw that, you guys were like, no. You guys are getting to 1 million or 5 million now. We're like, okay, well, if you guys are going to prematurely get us to 5 million because you're badasses, I want to prematurely announce something we're doing. Nice. We are not ready to announce this in terms of like a big announcement or whatever. I'm sure there's going to be like a video announcing this later on to like the general public or whatever. But you guys are members watching this live, and I want you guys in on this. Desk of Death Battle is coming back. I'm so excited for this.
I knew
Jocelyn is getting her show back.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Okay, then I guess I don't have to talk about it anymore. Desk of Death Battle is coming back with Lisa Foyles as Jocelyn. I'm so excited about this. It will be a limited run later on this year with Jocelyn in animated form, I believe is the direction this is going this time around. And a bunch of people from the Death Battle staff are working on it, including, of course, Liam and Josh over here, doing some writing and directing, which is going to be phenomenal. It's been a little while since we've had Desk of Death Battle, so I think we're all very happy to have.
How long has it been
back? I think we stopped
a couple years.
2018.
Yeah, a little while ago.
Years?
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So we're definitely bringing I very much want this to be like the next stage of Desk of Death Battle, but still like, that same Desk of Death Battle flavor, just all new look kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm really excited about it. It's going to be fun. And Lisa's always so a blast to work with, and she's always so passionate about this show. So when we initially brought in Jocelyn into last year's Death Battles, like in animated form, we always were kind of like, we're gonna bring Desk of Death Battle back at some point, right? Like we got to do this. We got Jocelyn all animated, rigged, and everything.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to finally get to it.
The chat is going off on the Jocelyn emojis. It's so good.
Yeah,
they look so good.
I love the Jocelyn emojis. They're great. The little starry eyed one. I knew we needed that.
They're great.
All right.
It is. So it's. I do one more small thing. I always kind of feel a little bad because we've used Lisa Foyles for ages as the voice of Jocelyn. She's always done great, and at the end, because of a lot of like YouTube dynamics, we were like, let's make it live action and do this. And so if you remember the last like 20 episodes, I think, are like of Lisa in real life, and she's in this set that's like a decrepit, gross closet because it's it's funny for the intern to be like in a broom closet. We actually sent somebody to build that set out in the closet of her home. And so, like, I always wondered, like, did she just keep her closet looking like a decrepit broom closet or not? But I always felt bad. It's like, yeah, but we really went in deep on your closet and then just completely were like, well, we got to go now. Bye.
I'm pretty sure she did, right? I think we talked to her about this. She left it like that all the time and would shoot. Yeah. Let's go. But then we helped take it down when
she knew
time to
day
wrap
would
up
once again come.
Yeah. Well, I also wanted, like, Jocelyn has been the intern for so long that, you know, when we were bringing her back into animated form, I wanted to, like, give her a bit of an upgrade. So now I guess she's the IT girl. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to evolve, but she's finally getting at least some recognition around the office. Long deserved, of course. Jocelyn, I love the character of Jocelyn. I love bringing her into death battles, and of course DBX, and now her own show is coming back. It's gonna be great. Anyway, later on in the show, we will be showing off a sneak peek for the upcoming episode, Magneto versus Tetsuo, so stick around for that. But right now, let's jump into the opening arguments for Bugs versus Mickey. Actually, before we jump into that, I feel like we might as well get the first sponsor done first. Let me just run through our first sponsor, and then we will talk about Bugs and Mickey. All right, so this episode of Death Battle Cast, if I can bring up my read, there it is. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Feeling confident can take you far in life, especially when it's time to step up to the plate. That is where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but as a chewable tablet and at a fraction of the cost. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And it's all done online. So no doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no going to the pharmacy. All very convenient. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help. And we've got a special deal for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code DBC at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code DBC to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring this podcast, where we are about to jump into one ridiculous community death battle. All right, let's get to it.
Who's starting? Do you want me? Bugs? Okay. You go, Liam.
Let's start with Bugs Bunny opening argument.
Bugs Bunny. Let's do this. Hey, hello there. My name is Liam Swan, and Bugs Bunny wins. Bugs Bunny is, of course, like Mickey Mouse, a cartoon character, and they both have access to wild Toon Force. We've seen recently Popeye, what that means, and Bugs is, I would argue, an even more skillful manipulator of Toon Force than Popeye or Mickey. Bugs' speciality with it is in fourth wall breaking, literally controlling the script, the cartoon itself. He has a level of awareness of the medium that he is in that goes beyond like the kind of Deadpool-esque, like cute references into an actual control of that medium itself. He is essentially the top tier of Toon Forcing. Not necessarily in terms of like, you're not going to see him punch planets apart, although he certainly can survive big cosmic destruction, but he is on a level completely beyond what any cartoon character we've seen in the show before. And he's smarter.
Okay. Wow. Smarter, huh?
Sorry, my bed looks all messed up. I left my phone at the coffee shop across from the street from my apartment, and I came back, and I was leaving, and I was like, where the fuck did my phone go? It's not in my pocket. Oh, maybe I left it at my apartment because it's only across the street. And then but I was like, even though I never do that, so I came back, and I was like, where is it? It's like 5 minutes before. And Scott was like, "Reminder, you're on the cast," and I'm like, "I know." And then I just tore apart my bedroom, and I ran back there, and I got my phone, and I came back. So that's why it looks a little messier than usual. Sam, go.
Yeah, sure. Give me 60 seconds. Let's see. All right, let's talk about Mickey Mouse, or Michael Theodore Mouse, if you want his full name. My thing is Mickey, thanks to Kingdom Hearts and a lot of other properties, and even merchandise lines that are canon for some reason, he scales to just about everybody that the Disney company owns. So if you want to be better than Mickey, you got to be better than Sora, you got to be better than Jedis, you got to be better than Thor, like, you got to be better than all of these people. And I just don't think Bugs has it in him. Plus, I don't know, mice do a lot more for humanity than bunnies do. So on that one, mouse greater than bunny. Now it's just Mickey versus nothing, right? If you divide by mouse, divide by Bugs, we're just left with Mickey, buddy. That's
okay,
all.
if you want to talk about mice in relation to humans, I had to talk
it over my 60 seconds.
Your 60 seconds ended.
Respect the forum.
No, it didn't end.
Jesus Christ.
There's no timer.
What is happening?
Scumbag. What a scumbag.
There's
okay.
The timer disappeared.
Let's get deeper.
Okay. I really want to get deeper into this.
Infested my fucking apartment, and I killed them all. So if we want to talk about humanity's relationship with mice, it's a murderous
mice
one,
were
and I
good
won.
enough to get there. Have you ever had a problem with bunny infestations?
No,
because they're not as good.
I don't think a measurement of goodness is determined by breaking into my house. And Mickey Mouse
saying that mice are smarter and more have a lot more capability than rabbits do.
If there was going to be a cataclysmic world event in like I had to put my money on little critters that are going to survive or we were boiled down to bunnies or mice are probably going to survive over bunnies.
Okay.
We don't even need to talk about that, really. We could just get into all the bullshit,
because
I'm sure we both got
not surprised.
some, like...
Do you want to move on from that?
Well, we got like idiot gifts and like shit to show, right? Like these are the crux of this is
but I think the
real quick. Before we
jump
into this,
you do too.
Before we jump into this, I do want to again. Many of you guys know how this works, but just in case, it's their job to convince the jury to vote, and at the end of the show we're all going to vote for who should win. Me, Josh, and you all watching this live. There will be a poll in the chat. We might have a poll show up in the chat for if mice are better than rabbits. I don't know. And then you can vote on that. So just keep an eye on the chat, and we are keeping an eye on the chat as well. If you guys have anything you want to say to add to the conversation, we will bring it up. All right, so let's go ahead and get to, you guys have something you want to show?
Yeah, I do.
Liam,
go ahead,
let's start with you. Liam, what do you want to show?
Okay, which one do I want to show?
It's just a full episode
of okay.
Vampire Nevermore says Bugs carries a gun on him? What?
He's carried a gun before. Okay, let's go with hey Brian, could you bring up,
where would he keep it?
Could you bring up the second picture I posted? It's like the full comic page. It's the one right after the Batman one. We'll get to the Batman one eventually. Okay, so this is a panel, even though it's a little blurry, of Bugs dying, his soul leaving his body, and then going back into his body.
Wait, did he die because too many beautiful women were on top of him?
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like the Austin Powers, like the fembots or whatever they were called. It's that, basically. And there's a funnier kind of pun in there somewhere. I forget what it is. But yeah, so even if his body is killed, his soul can actually re-enter it and be fine. What can Mickey do about that? Sam? Huh? Give me some of that, or I'll keep going. That
is in a scenario though, specifically where he's dying of. I was about to say natural causes. It's not natural causes, but like an overdose of dopamine, right? Like he's like losing it, right? Like it's a good thing, and he's like, no, wait, I can't let go. Like, no, that's not the case. This is not like I'm gonna chop your head off. Like that's not how that's gonna work.
Okay,
we're talking about chops his head off. Mickey chops his head off.
Yeah.
When his soul goes back to a dead body, that's not gonna work.
So he can actually be fully deleted, like his entire. So this happens in Space Jam 2, actually. At the end of the film, his body is like the subject to this glitch, which destroys, like deletes you. And he was actually fully deleted, and they were like, "Oh my God, Bugs is dead." He was deleted from existence, and then he came back and said, at the end of the movie, he was like, "You can't kill me. I can I'm a toon. I can survive anything."
Wait, this happened where? In Space Jam?
No, Space Jam 2. Yeah, it did.
Oh.
Yeah. The one you didn't watch.
Yeah. I think I did. I don't remember.
He is completely deleted from existence, and he comes back at the end after, like, it's like, oh, Bugs Bunny died.
Yeah, but I mean,
so real quick, I do want to point out in the chat,
Bugs Bunny died.
We posted a poll: who wins, rabbits or mice? Rabbits won the poll pretty handedly, 71%.
Yeah, they're a lot cuter and stuff, but mice have done a lot for humanity as far as like medicine and Alzheimer's research goes, right?
Mice have done lab rats. Those are rats, though. I guess mice have been done too.
Yeah,
there is an intense experiment, famous experiment about mice. What is it? Okay, this is channeled Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm suggesting this because I love this channel so much.
On the rabbit hole, but this is about the rats?
I know, it's confusing. What? The Mouse Utopia experiments. The Mouse Utopia experiments. It's by a channel called Down the Rabbit Hole. Unbelievable experiment, like scientific experiment done where they essentially put like a fuck ton of mice into this enclosure, into this kind of city, and then extrapolated the results of what the mice did, how they reacted to living in these confined quarters, and extrapolated that into like a sociological study about like humans in cities, which is very, very controversial and is not like a fully accepted thing. In fact, I think it might have. I think I saw this video.
Didn't they like form cliques?
Yes, they formed cliques.
Like they formed cliques and they would attack each other. It was like wild.
Emo rats.
And a lot of
they didn't do it. They didn't do the test with bunnies.
They didn't do it with bunnies.
Mice cooler.
That's true.
We like mice.
Well, the mice all went completely fucking insane. Like the mice like went bananas.
So it was not great. Too much or too small.
Yeah, yeah, it was insane.
I do get your Bugs Bunny, and he was deleted by a glitch, but in the nature of glitches, right? They are something that in the world of Space Jam 2, as I understand it, a certain part of it is a toon world that's almost like a computer verse.
Right? He came back in the real world, though.
Natures of glitches in nothing but computers, right? In this sense of it, and so that death and coming back could be as simple as the person on the outside hitting Control Z, right, or fixing the glitch.
He came back to life in the real world.
Yeah,
when he returned, it was the real ass.
Okay,
world.
So it was only the computer verse. It was only the computer verse version of Bugs that was.
No, they're like the plot of the movie is that they're like existences, like their bodies, their souls were transported into the computer world, and then he was erased from existence. LeBron James is a real person.
Real quick, I don't know if we necessarily need to debate whether either of them could survive being erased or whatever, because that's definitely happened. Both of them have some degree of toon force in that manner. Also, Josh, it sounds like you're the only one here who has actually seen Space Jam 2, so we might need your expertise.
No, but I don't remember it. I have seen it, but it was
that movie is awful.
It was gone. No, nothing. I retained none of it. It was like, what is this really long commercial?
I guess I can also. Okay, yeah, Ben, you doing something?
I did want to mention. I think let me find it again. Milkman in the chat says two things about Mickey. One, he has Toodles, which I don't remember what that is specifically, but he says he can basically summon with a call and grab a surprise tool that will help him later. So he's got like a context-sensitive thing. So he could just call up something that could erase Bugs Bunny permanently. But he also mentions, and this is, I'm curious how far we want to go with this. He owns Marvel, Star Wars, and everything else that Disney has, and could just call up,
Wait. He owns
Thor,
Disney? Where's that established?
He's Mickey Mouse. He's the one who
rules
him. He's the king.
He's the star. He's the mascot. He doesn't fucking own Disney unless that's established somewhere. Like, I don't think so. Tried to sneak one by old Liam there. I gotcha. Okay, I have an interesting one.
Is the
Brian,
king of those realms, though?
He is the king of Kingdom Hearts, like the universe of Kingdom Hearts. But that's not the same. That's not the same thing.
Which does include all of those.
But he doesn't own Disney. Like, he wouldn't be able to rally Disney's legal team to like absorb Warner Brothers or something. As interesting as that would be. Okay.
I mean, kind of also, but yes, what a king can do is rally his troops.
It also wouldn't matter. It also wouldn't matter because that would rely on Bugs and Mickey being constrained to their own universes. And that's just not a thing with Bugs. Brian, could you bring up my second gift, the one with the train?
Train? What is
the train one? It's from the boxing episode.
He doesn't do an Omni-Man thing, does he?
Here's a train. Yeah. Oh, we got scared.
I just like that.
He's about to be killed by a train.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He ended the cartoon early. by snipping the film strip. So, like, if the fight is taking place in a cartoon, you can't win. Because, Brian, if you could also bring up the last image I sent you.
Okay, go for it.
He is also the writer of the script upon which these cartoons take place.
He is a writer
of
the famous one. But
he's also the animator of
So,
Duck 'em Up.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you go back and you look at the stupid film reel thing, right? There's a lot to be said about this.
Okay. Like, please.
And
if your argument is that it only applies to that context, it's going to be 3 for 3 and I'm going to freak the fuck out.
No, it's more so that he didn't actually cut the film.
He didn't cut the film.
No, he didn't.
Why? How did he not cut the film? The film was cut and he comes in with scissors.
No, because actually he comes in with scissors, but the film is not cut. You can see in the animation the film is actually torn. You can't tear with scissors. You fucking idiot! Get out of here! Watch the animation.
I whenever we do this episode, and I write it,
check it.
I am absolutely going to include this.
He's got
the
scissors.
This should just be the rundown.
Wait, hang
on.
Yeah,
look at this. Look, watch how it tears. That's a tear, not a cut. You idiot. He did not cut that fucking film.
Oh my god.
Get absolutely wrecked. I would never thought.
Oh my gosh.
I never thought that spending like years of QCing animation would come in that handy in one of these things. I was just like, well, that's not a cut. That's a tear. Like,
I'm gonna make this a bit in the episode, and I want to direct this episode so that no one can tell me I can't say your name in the episode. I can't have like Boomstick C say C Sam. You're wrong. You did cut it. Okay. I'm gonna write that one down.
I mean, technically, if he was using a splitting tool, it would be. Well, he's using scissors. It shows scissors.
Yes.
So
crude.
So okay. So
I mean, maybe the scissors are just really dull. I don't know. I do want to point out. So Robert 972 in the chat mentions Mickey's magic paintbrush.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought this up.
Well, there's a handful
first we'll start
of instances, though, and I think one thing we do need to kind of agree on is both of them have way too much like fourth dimension breaking bullshit
to
really talk about.
Let me finish what Robot wanted to say. He said the magic paintbrush is specifically designed to melt tunes and to prevent them from coming back to life. It is quite literally just the dip from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So if he's got that, and that works that way, I never. Is this from the video game? I can't remember.
This is from Epic Mickey.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I never played Epic Mickey.
Yeah.
So if it does work that way, then he does have a way to finish off Bugs, and I don't know if Bugs is going to have a way to finish off Mickey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the thing
is, it wouldn't work. And I
Why not?
prepared this argument because I knew it doesn't melt everything. It fails to melt things in the game, and not just a gameplay thing where it's like, oh, we can't melt this because it wasn't programmed to be melted. Like bosses that are powerful enough can in fact resist it. I guess it's unfortunate from like an argument standpoint because it would have been a bigger slam dunk, but Bugs has literally, like, again, survived being deleted from reality entirely and came back. The
deleted
paint
from the
thinner,
computer verse, not reality.
He was deleted. Like his essence,
the brush
his
is
existence was
specifically designed to delete it and not let them come back.
Because it's made of paint thinner. It melts them because it's made of paint
it's
thinner.
essentially
the dip is not stated to actually be made of paint thinner. It like evokes the dip, but it's actually never stated to be the same thing. I'm not even like, I forget who did Roger Rabbit, so I don't even know if it's like legally can be the same thing. Yeah, that's but yeah, also I guess I can also rope this in as an argument for that. There's a quote by Bob Clampett. Bob Clampett was one of the classic animators of Bugs Bunny, and he was speaking here as Bugs Bunny, written in the first person. You know where I found this quote? This is awesome. I found it on Wikipedia, which you never find feats on Wikipedia. I found it on fucking Wikipedia. He says, he's speaking as Bugs Bunny. Let's see where I can start. It's kind of a long quote. And sometimes I chomp on my carrot for the same reason that a stand-up comic chomps on his cigar. It saves me from rushing from the last joke to the next one too fast. And sometimes I don't, and I sometimes don't act, I react. And I always treat the contest with my pursuers as fun and games. When momentarily I appear to be cornered or in dire danger and I scream, "Don't be consoined," it's actually a big put-on. Let's face it, Doc, I've read the script, and I already know how it turns out. Bugs would never be threatened by anything Mickey has because Bugs knows everything that is going to happen. Bugs knows. He's aware. And that's his whole bit. And that's literal word of God.
I think you could just say that's like rather metaphorical and not straight one for one.
You could, if there wasn't that panel that I showed of him writing the script.
Malcolm Neal does say, how can it be used as a trustworthy source, though? It's Wikipedia.
It's true.
All our teachers told us never to use it, even though, honestly, it works all right.
It's pretty good.
Also,
it's a jumping off point.
It's actually pretty good.
if that was true, he would never be in a position where he had to fake cut the film, right? Like, he wouldn't be
that's why he
a corner.
That's why he cut the film.
He's an entertainer.
Okay. We're talking about him writing and knowing and being able to affect the plot. Is this within his own story, though? If we pull Bugs from the Warner Brothers cartoon and throw him into a world where he can interact with a Disney cartoon, is he still writing the story? Because I feel like that's a separate thing, right? Like we can't say Bugs is writing this death battle. Right?
No.
Isn't that too much?
Yeah.
Perhaps, but you can say that he is aware of it, right? That's his power. It has to do with fourth wall breaking. Like, the idea is that he can leave his medium and is aware of reality, quote unquote. The idea of him being aware of what's going on and knowing ahead of time, it is part of his. It's part of his gag, really. That's kind of.
I think if we rest on all the fourth wall garbage that they can both do, there's just literally like we're in circles. I haven't heard any
fourth wall garbage from Mickey, though. You guys have.
That's because they didn't pull it because it's so boring. He survives getting erased by the animators. Like, he does all that shit
happen?
Too. Oh god, just go look at the respect card, Liam. You know exactly how this is. I didn't pull it.
Sam is just making stuff.
I just wanted to talk like, ooh, how strong is your boy, right? Like,
okay. Bugs Bunny can eat super carrots, which make him Superman, and he fought Validus, who is a pre-crisis Superman villain who fights the Legion of Superheroes. That's how strong Bugs Bunny can get within his medium. Answer that argument from early before.
Okay, so I think Mickey kind of does, like, I don't think that's really an issue, because I think we can all agree he scales to Goofy, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing. Brian, do you want to show that first GIF I sent over of Goofy?
Yeah.
So he's playing baseball with himself, which is weird. But let's not talk about it.
Oh, all right.
That's amazing.
He just destroys the sun, right? And so,
Brian, could you bring up that third image that I sent you?
Oh my god.
So this is, if we're talking about scaling, this is Yosemite Sam and Marvin the Martian jousting with a sun and a black hole, respectively. And the next page, which I didn't save and send to Brian, but I can describe it, is when they explode, they've become a constellation, which is like dozens and dozens of stars that stretch across an area of millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of billions, if it's volume, billions of cubic light years. Oh yeah, that's it for that.
Cute. Like,
so one star versus a lot.
I mean, on that one, like, we all know the whole Sora Zeus scale thing, so I feel like, he can snap his finger and move a constellation, so it's not that wild. But if this has proven anything to me, it's that this is probably a worthless episode to actually make.
What?
It is all
No.
conjecture and bullshit. Like
it's not all conjecture. I keep bringing up evidence.
Those are the best episodes, though.
Yeah,
bullshit and answer.
Yeah,
because you're like, this is absurd.
Style.
Yeah, it's an exercise in absurdity. Like, Flash versus Sonic is kind of like that, right? They both have infinite speeds. It's like, well, okay, we got to figure out which one's faster, despite them both being infinitely fast. You know what I mean? Not that episode was bullshit or anything like that, but there's like so many hoops to jump through to figure out.
There's an
what
element
that
of like, what the fuck
be.
am I actually writing? Like,
exactly,
the thing I just wrote
like,
doesn't actually
point?
Isn't English anymore. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm writing fucking Finnegan's Wake, but it's a death battle. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I feel like
we know what we're doing here. We're doing some stupid shit.
Yeah.
And to Mickey does also always have a door to light, which as a plot device is a way to victory.
And his name is Jesus Christ.
pretty much. But like I do think, like, if we want to talk about the bullshit of like Kingdom Hearts especially, is like canonically for Mickey, he does always have a doorway to light, which is a way to win, right? Like,
I don't know what that actually means. I don't know.
I mean,
what
there's never.
Is it like the heart of the cards? Is it like
it's the heart of the Kingdom Hearts, kind of. Does that help?
No.
I've done like hours on it. I still don't really know what the fuck the Kingdom Hearts is.
I don't know either.
What can the light do? Like, how does the light get him a win?
I mean, it's like it happens to Sora when he's essentially dead and like falling into pure blackness. There is a beam of light and he comes back to life and then wins the final boss fight, right? Like, it's that bullshit.
Context sensitive magic.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well,
yeah, Ben, you go.
Is there something you really want to cover, Liam? Because we do have to move on.
He filled up Bugs filled up the Grand Canyon by shoveling dirt into the Grand Canyon in 5 seconds, and it comes out to like 100 billion times faster than light. It's just the last feat I had.
Okay.
Impressive.
All right. Well, that out of the way, I think it's time to talk about what's going on. Okay, we're going to get a poll up for Bugs versus Mickey, so you guys can vote on that. And then we will get to our own votes in just a second. But first, it's time to check out a sneak peek for the upcoming episode of Magneto versus Tetsuo. Let's roll a clip.
Even in Japan, they fail to recognize our superiority.
Wrong country, Grandpa! You're in Akira turf now! You're dead meat!
Impudent child!
The hell are you calling child? I make the rules around here!
You're wasting my time. Parlor tricks for the master of magnetism.
I do like the whole like, who are you calling a child line? It's like Tetsuo is like he's like 14
very
or 15,
young.
right?
Yeah,
he's a kid.
He's like a child.
He is okay. Like, no, it's accurate.
I mean, he should
kind of
be.
Mass murderer.
But yeah, there's a bit more going on in the world of Akira.
Magneto is actually only 17. That's like a fact that like not a lot of like, if you're a hardcore fan, you don't know that Magneto is like, he's like a teenager.
Yeah. I mean, he's a teenager.
He's like it's like a big boss.
He was like, face.
Yeah, it's like he's like Solid as Snake, where he like ages super fast and he gets.
Did I miss something? I didn't miss something.
He was.
No, I lied.
12 in World War II. And then he was about 18 in 2020 when he fought Tetsuo. With, giant skyscrapers and neon signs.
Classic sliding time scale.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, the way Marvel's timeline works, I'd believe it.
Yeah, he could have just been in magic hibernation the whole time. You never know.
So, episode is coming up this weekend. It'll be up this Sunday on First. Or for First members on Rooster Teeth and on YouTube this upcoming Monday. Very excited to share it with you guys. Liam has been directing it with, of course, Luis and his team on the animation, and it looks phenomenal. Getting that, I know, getting the powers for these characters looking right and making sure that we can show off, like, because they both have, like, you think of Magneto and Tetsuo and you think, like, okay, I kind of know what their powers are, but then when you really dive into what those powers really are and what they can do, it gets wild.
Yeah, there were some moments in the script calls where we were like, wait, really? Is that what it is? Oh, okay. That's fucking busted.
There's some strange things with both characters that we're going to be getting into, in both the rundowns and the fight. And of course, I want to give a shout out to the voice actors. Edward Bosco is returning as Magneto. I believe he was Magneto in a DBX. And then we got Josh Waters as Tetsuo, who I believe, speaking of Flash, voiced Wally West. In that very episode I talked about.
Wallard West.
Willard West, yes.
Willard.
Against Maurice.
Lalania.
Yeah.
Ogilvy.
Anyway, very excited to share that with you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. I think the team did a great job. All right.
Me too.
Let's
and the track is a banger.
Figuring out the winner of this week's community death battle.
At the end of the day, Mickey could buy Bugs Bunny, though.
But Mickey doesn't actually own Disney. You guys just said that. You just said that.
But
he owns the wealth of Disney because he is the king of Disney Kingdom.
He's not the king of Disney. He's the king.
Mickey doesn't own Disney. Then who owns Disney, Liam?
I don't. Who does own Disney right now? Is Michael Eisner?
Mickey Mouse.
Not Eisner for a long time.
It's Mickey,
bullshit.
Obviously.
He's like mascot. Fucking that green thing with the fucking tube mouth doesn't own the Phillies. This doesn't make any sense. The Philly fanatic doesn't own the Phillies. Not that anyone would want to. Sorry, Philadelphia, but
Look, I Google who owns the majority of Disney company, and Google tells me it's Mickey Mouse.
Google
so clearly
does not tell you that. Yeah. We're just lying. Which is fine.
All right,
because it's not against the
Okay, let's get these votes in. So the chat poll is up. We'll have that going for a while now as we get to these other responses. First thing I want to bring up is the community responses from you that you left on the community tab on the Death Battle YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and bring up the first one. Josh, do you want to read these out?
Sure.
Mickey was originally played by Walt Disney, who was owned Disney. So
owned.
I got the low key from Billy. He slacked me. He's like, "Hey, dog." And I'm like, "Thanks, bud."
Nice.
All right, let's check out that answer.
Right. Mason Woods says, I think Bugs has this. Looney Tunes' level of toon force and violence had usually been beyond a lot of what Disney would do. I thought I said Disney World do? No, Disney would do. And there's little to suggest Mickey Mouse can tank gunfire from modern firearms. In the Looney Tunes Acme Arsenal video game, Bugs used loads of guns that largely behaved like normal guns. Also, Bugs breaks the fourth wall way more.
What the fuck are you talking about? You can't
gun.
Well, and also, what do you mean Mickey can't?
Doesn't matter.
Mickey can't survive gunfire. Like, hey, yeah, he can. We just saw Goofy bunt a baseball into the fucking sun. Like, he's also
only a bunt.
All right, we need to keep going. We need to keep going. Let's go ahead and bring up the ad.
He's a Jedi
we also have
master.
another ad to get to. Let's go ahead and bring up the other answer.
Okay, Delta Prime 350 says the mouse would buy Death Battle and win.
Yeah.
All right.
Def true. He can afford.
No, but it's a terrible argument because we're owned. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, while we think about
makes any sense.
Real quick, while we think about the stakes of this matchup and figure out this poll, I think it's time to hear about some stakes that are sponsoring this episode.
Whoa.
Yeah, it is time to talk about. You really bamboozled me with that one, but don't worry, I am a professional. And here's a little gift-giving wisdom from Omaha Steaks. Dad wants steaks. You're right. Father's Day is right around the corner, and there isn't a better gift than Omaha Steaks. And you can get an even better deal on those steaks by visiting omahasteaks.com and typing DBC into the search bar and ordering the Dad Wants Steaks package. It's a little bonus from us to you. And for just $99, this limited-time package includes 16 mouth-watering entrees he's guaranteed to love, like smoky, tender bacon-wrapped filet mignons, gourmet jumbo franks, and their air-chilled boneless chicken breasts. And for a sweet finish, delicious caramel apple tartlets. You're right. I was confused too when I showed up at a box and I was like, apples? I thought they gave me meat. And no, they give you dessert too. It's really, really good. And as a special gift for our listeners, when you type in DBC in the search bar and order the Dad Wants Steaks packages, you'll also get 8 free Omaha Steak burgers. These burgers are full of bold, beefy flavor and made from 100% Omaha steaks. And now they're bigger they're bigger than ever at a whopping 6 ounces. So don't wait. Send Dad more than just a gift. Send him an experience that you'll also probably share with him, which means you get a really good meal, and that's a good deal. So Dad Wants Steak package. Go to their website, omahasteaks.com. Type in DBC in the search bar. Get it. You get 8 free Omaha Steak burgers with it. That's Omaha Steaks. It isn't just steak. It's the best steak of your life. Guaranteed. So go to omahasteaks.com. Do it. You know the deal. I'll fight you.
Will you actually?
No, I'm not
gonna do it if they don't do it. All right, apparently you guys got to go there. Tim's gonna fight you.
Fight.
No, let's get into this. Who wins this?
Okay, so we've got the answers from you guys. People in chat are asking why we didn't bring up Big Chungus. Just I guess gotta mention that.
We're gonna say Big Chungus. It'll be said in the episode if we ever do it, when we do it. But it's only gonna be once. It's gonna be once, and that's it. We're gonna do any more.
Ringmaster will just pop in and be like, "Hey guys, Big Chungus."
It'll be like in the opening line. It's Bugs Bunny, the Big Chungus himself, Bugs Bunny. Something.
That's
like
it. And
I think.
All right, just warning you guys ahead of time. That's what's gonna happen.
Or Mecha Goose should just show up and vomit out just a JPEG of the meme. Like,
you should kill Boomstick, and then Boomstick says it, and then Mecha Goose kills Boomstick, and Boomstick is just not present for the entire rest of the rundown.
This is legitimately kind of what our writing brainstorming meetings are like.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this. We have a couple different votes to get to. Let's start with the community tab poll, not the one that's in the chat. The one that you guys voted on before the show even started. Let's go ahead and bring that up and see who wins. Wow, 85% victory for Bugs Bunny right off the bat.
Whoa.
I mean, I didn't not expect those results. I assumed it would be near the 80-20. All I gotta say is that my seat here arguing for Mickey Mouse was supposed to be Nick.
I was gonna bring that up.
Maybe he would have known the secrets
already. Sam was a great sport.
I will say, Sam has been a very good sport, and props for jumping in last minute to rep Mickey. Thank you very much.
Hold back on the research.
I still do think he would just buy Warner Brothers, or like they said, Death Battle. Like, I mean, you say
Warner Brothers has to
accept
a sale. You can't just force like a sale. They have to be like, yes, we will.
It's a corporation in America. Fucking the ghost of Saddam Hussein could show up and buy us. I'm sure. Like it's money.
Look. Like, I think that's a great point, and I could go on a big old rant about that. But we have things to do.
Liam, I will say, if we are bringing up things like Bugs Bunny is the writer of, his world or whatever. Mickey buying him out isn't necessarily all that different in terms of how it applies here. Okay, go on. Let's get to our votes. Josh, let's start with you.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Bugs Bunny or Mickey?
When I close my eyes and I picture Bugs Bunny, I picture him evading physical threat after physical threat. That's like classic Bugs Bunny. And when I do the same for Mickey, it's like, oh no, he's late for another date with Minnie Mouse. Like, he's in trouble. but it's okay because he crashes into her garden and picks her flowers, and it's fine. Like, I'm confident that Bugs has spent way more time fighting for his life than Mickey.
Do remember that Mickey Mouse did fight with Yoda in the Clone Wars. Like, don't forget about that when you close your eyes. That is on his Jedi Mickey merch. It's on the back of the merch box.
Bugs fought with Superman. Bugs outsmarted. Yeah. Bugs did the rabbit season bit on Batman, and it worked.
So who are you voting for, Josh?
Bugs. I'm going Bugs.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 votes for Bugs. Yeah. I'm kind of torn on this because I feel like obviously we've only scratched the surface of these characters, and there's so much we could get into. I feel like Mickey's just gonna have a lot more material that he survived, and this is based on both what Sam has talked about and me kind of speculating a little bit. But I'm gonna vote Mickey because I think he's just got a lot more to work with in terms of just material and things that he's been through. Because Bugs, like you mentioned, Josh, he's been through a lot. He's constantly dodging stuff, but it's always kind of the same thing. Like Elmer Fudd is coming after him again, and Mickey's been in so many different pieces of content, or different pieces of like genres and things like that. So I don't know. I feel like there's more for him to work with. But that's just 1 vote for Mickey with 2 votes for Bugs.
And denies me a second sweep in a row.
Also, I mean, think of the Metachlorians. Like he might have some sort of a spider sense,
Okay, moving on.
He's just
let's check out what you guys
hurt your argument at this point.
I'm wrapping up this argument for your own sake, Sam. Let's end the poll and see who wins this matchup. If it is a tie, we do have a tiebreaker method. But
I think Bugs will win. I was wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bugs with 81% victory for Bugs. Okay. All right. Well,
Spencer,
pretty clear cut.
I gave you a way that he could get past Mickey's thinner. I told you. It's you specifically.
What are you talking? Whatever.
There was a comment that I saw when it was brought up that said, I didn't see a way that Bugs could get past Mickey's thinner, and I did address that argument.
Yeah, by saying that some bosses in a video game were unaffected by it.
It's the whole point!
Okay. Clearly, this could be fun as an episode, or it could just be a complete shit show. we don't know. But you know what? The shit show episodes are fun too. All right. Yeah. So, thanks everybody for joining us for whatever the fuck this matchup is. Again, Magneto versus Tetsuo is debuting this weekend. That is the first weekend of June, right? June 5th for Rooster Teeth and First Members, and June 6th on Death Metal's YouTube channel. I can speak. I'm very excited to see how you guys react to this. This is our first time bringing an Akira character in, and Tetsuo versus Magneto is one that we have floated around behind the scenes for a very long time. It was almost in last season. Because last season was about episodes that had like history with us or with you guys. So this is one of those kinds of episodes, and we're very excited to share with you guys. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and wrap up the episode for this week. As always, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, be awesome. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye.
Even in Japan, they fail to recognize our superiority.
Wrong country, Grandpa! You're an Akira turf now! You're dead meat!
Impudent child!
The hell are you calling child? I make the rules around here!
You're wasting my time. Parlor tricks for the master of magnetism.